Did he eat the Baroness?
No. He died later from food poisoning.
Good.
So what had happened was I told you about the stream, their only freshwater source. And I've also told you that he's a vegetarian and or vegan. There was the drought, though, which ruined all their crops. They had no fresh water. Too many people were taking the water. So they had to resort to eating meat. So they had chickens and pigs.
Did he eat the Baroness?
No.
Not cannibals.
No. I mean, I don't know. As far as I know, no. What happened was he had a pig that was sick. So he killed the pig, fed the pigs to his chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Chickens got sick and died. But they didn't want to waste the chickens, so they jarred the chickens. And Dora cooked the chicken and was like, here, it's fine. You can eat it. And he suddenly got so sick with botulism symptoms. Yeah.
They were eating bad meat.
They were. Well, he was. We don't know what Dora was eating, but Dora did not die of this incredibly painful, paralyzing illness.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to perform an autopsy?
Ever wanted to know how accurate your favorite crime drama is?
If you're brave enough,
join us inside the morgue. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Inside the Morgue. We are your hosts and your favorite spooky girls, Jess and Alice. And this week, I'm excited, and I hope I'm not like overhyping it because I've been so excited about this all week. Jess doesn't know what I'm going to talk at her about. She does now because it's on a screen in front of us, but she just read what it is and doesn't know what it is. So I'm very excited. The topic I'm going to be discussing is called the Galápagos Affair. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because I just found out about the movie Eden, which came out in 2024, has a stellar cast, apparently. I'm going to be watching it. I believe it's on Apple TV, and it is the film adaptation of this whole story. And it's insane. I first heard about this story on the podcast My Favorite Murder, episode 129, called Coincidence Island. I know that off the top of my head because I was listening to it on the drive down here just to make sure I remembered all the crazy little details of this story.
That's what you said when you were going to listen to a podcast.
Yeah. Also, I need to have my phone on me because I'm going to when I tell you about certain people, I'm going to be like, played by this person in the movie Eden.
Okay.
So, before we get into it, we are recording from lovely Young Junk here in Philadelphia. Young Junk, you did the Young Junk. Oh my God, I love it. We're with our producer, Terry. Say hi, Terry.
Terry, if people want to do a podcast, where can they find you?
Stop looking for Terry. He's had enough.
He's a figment of our imagination.
Yeah, we made him up. He's over in the corner over there. We're talking to nobody. He's just a hot dog. Okay. If you want.
We're not forcing you, but you should.
Oh yeah. All right. Let's get into it.
I'm so excited.
The Galápagos Affair. Do you know about the Galápagos Islands?
I have never heard of, the Galápagos Islands?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Darwin.
Yeah. So starting in the late 1920s, German settlers began to travel to the island in the Galápagos called Floreana. The island was originally discovered by Thomas de Berlanga, whose name I might be butchering, a Panamanian bishop in 1535. And over centuries, it served as a convict colony and as a base and a hideout for pirates. Also, Charles Darwin visited the island for his Evolution of Species, but it wasn't constantly populated until 1929. So now is when we're going to get into the characters of this story, who are real people, not just characters. So we're going to start with Frederick Ritter and Doris Straunch. Okay, let's see who they're played by in the movie. Doris Straunch is Vanessa Kirby. She's most recently been in Fantastic Four.
Oh, yes.
Jude Law, Frederick Ritter.
Yes. Okay, cool.
Or Frederick Ritter, excuse me. So Ritter was a doctor, and Straunch was one of his patients who was 15 years younger than him, which sounds scandalous, but he was like 43, so she was in her late 20s.
That's okay.
It's a little less scandalous. It's still scandalous though, because just wait, they ended up leaving their spouses for each other.
Oh,
yeah, they weren't single. They were not single.
Oh, spicy.
Ritter was very eccentric. He was into raw diets, holistic living, vegan living. He was all about rejecting the ideals of Western civilization, and he maintained a combination of different strange philosophies and mix of crude life reform considerations. So in his opinion, this man is a doctor. But he thought you could overcome illness with the power of thought rather than medication.
Yes. Just will it away.
Just wait, because
I'm a doctor.
Dora has MS, and he just basically tells her to think it away.
Oh, yeah.
Because that works.
That's so nice.
In his rejection of capitalist form of society and economy, he called the U.S. an ant society, quote. Dora had multiple sclerosis, and Ritter believed his ideas and her ideas and thoughts could heal her. So they decided to leave Germany, leave their spouses, and start a new life in the Galapagos, specifically the island of Floreana. Also, this is just an important fact. The raw diet that he was so obsessed with ruined his teeth. So he ripped out all of his own teeth with garden shears or garden tools. And then he's like, you know what? Actually, Dora, really smart idea. We're going to be on this island, just the two of us. No medical care, no dental care. Let me take yours too. So they take out all of their teeth with garden tools and they share a set of steel dentures.
Oh, God.
Can you imagine having to take turns eating?
I need a minute.
This isn't even...
What? He's a doctor.
I don't know a doctor of what. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. I just know he was a doctor.
I am like, I literally have like no words for how ridiculous that is.
While this is happening, just picture Jude Law. No teeth. I don't know if they have this in the movie. I haven't watched the movie yet.
I feel like they
Jude
might
Law,
have left
no
that
teeth.
out.
Vanessa Kirby, no teeth. Steel dentures back and forth, passing them along.
That's not very good for views.
Hey, we have the super
That's not
hot
good cinema.
Can you imagine they advertise the movie? Oh, you know those really hot people?
They have
Jude
no
Law and
teeth.
Vanessa Kirby? Picture them? No teeth. Real quick. Steel dentures, but one pair.
Steel dentures are the
Steel
star of the
dentures,
show.
they gotta share them. All right, okay, I want to get a little more into, I just want to talk off the cuff about them before we get into our next set of characters. Ritter, from what I have briefly read and listened to on podcasts, there is a documentary called The Galápagos Affair, When Satan Came to Eden. I have not watched it yet. It's on my list as well. But Ritter kind of seemed like an asshole. He was not good to Dora. He didn't like visitors on the island, and he really just wanted his own.
So the island was just for them.
Yeah, he was very, very full of himself and his ideas. Dora and Ritter would write home often. They would send letters talking about how their life was going on the island.
How are they sending letters from an island?
Oh, they had like a little, they had like a mail boat, like the boat come get mail.
Oh, that's adorable.
They had boats. They had boats.
They had boats back then?
Boats. So they would send letters back home, and unbeknownst to them, these letters were a hit in the news. I think they might have written to some newspapers and like directly.
Like, hey, our lives are great.
Yeah. But then they got all this media attention and people began visiting the island. Like a group of scientists who were there on the Galapagos Islands studying animals were like, oh my God, let's go to Floreana, visit the modern day Adam and Eve is what they were being called.
Okay.
And Frederick Ritter, at first, he was like, okay, like, yeah, this is great, but like, I don't want any more visitors. Nobody else can come to my island because he was very,
I'm gonna fence it off.
very weirdly into like making this his own thing.
It's so
Very weird. I
this
also
man?
think if he was writing directly to the newspapers and then getting mad about being
he
famous
did it
for
to
it,
himself.
it's the like 1920s, 1930s equivalent of posting on your Facebook and like very cryptically.
Respect my privacy.
And then like when somebody comments and is like, are you okay? Being like, please respect my privacy. Like that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
So he's that guy. Just turned up to 10. Now introducing the Whitmers.
The Whitmers.
The Whitmers.
The Whitmers. They sound
So-
like a nice suburban family.
They kind of are. They kind of are. Okay, so Margaret Whitmer, Sydney Sweeney.
Oh.
Heinz Whitmer.
Oh.
Heinz Whitmer, Daniel Bruhl.
Daniel Bruhl.
You recognize him. He's in the Marvel Universe, Zemo.
I don't know who that is.
I'll show you this guy. All right.
Yeah, he's
Picture
a
him.
white man.
Picture him. White man. They did have a son. Okay. Jonathan Tittle plays their son. This guy plays their son.
Cool, another white
Okay.
man.
Yes. So inspired by what they were reading in the newspapers and magazines about Dr. Ritter and Doris Strange and this beautiful life they had in the modern day Eden, Heinz and Margaret Whitmer from Cologne, Germany, came 2 years later to the island with their 12-year-old son, Harry. On one hand, the Whitmers tried to escape the economic crisis in Germany, and on the other hand, they hoped that the climate would improve Harry's state of health, he was in very poor health. He had lung and eye disease, and however, this hope was not fulfilled. Also, Margaret is 5 months pregnant when they decide to go to this island.
Sydney Sweeney's pregnant?
Apparently in this movie. And she also apparently hoped, like, just assumed that she goes to the island. She's like, oh, the guy on the island's a doctor.
He can deliver my
He'll
baby.
help me with my baby.
Duh.
And
The guy who doesn't want visitors is going to help me.
You're gonna help me. Well, he wasn't writing in the letters like, I don't want visitors. He should have.
Don't talk to me.
Don't talk to me.
It's at the end of
Stop
really small.
reading my letters.
P.S. Don't come.
P.S. Don't come. It's beautiful. I love it. Don't come. Also, I just want to reiterate, the Galapagos Islands aren't like a fun tropical island. Like, they're gorgeous in their own way, but it's like a grueling, unforgiving survival. Like, you're on an episode of Survivor times a million. Like,
It's survival of the fittest.
literally. So yeah, they get there. It's not what they expected.
Because
Frederick
it's a horrible
Ritter
island.
is so pissed that they're there that he's like, yeah, sure, you can stay with us. I'm going to walk you an hour away from where I am to these caves where you can stay. And he makes them stay in caves that used to be inhabited by pirates. Remember in the beginning when I said there
Yeah.
were pirates on the island? Yeah, so he takes them to these weird pirate caves.
That's so nice and
Yeah.
neighborly.
Eventually, Margaret does give birth to their son, Rolf, who is
In a cave.
maybe, I don't know, happy and healthy in Floriana. Okay. I need to prepare you for the next slide.
I can't believe I have never heard of this movie.
It's
I
so
can't believe
insane.
I even watched the trailer for Eden and I was like, wow.
Did you really? You watched the trailer for Eden?
Like a while ago.
Oh my god. Yeah. As
But
soon
like
as
none of that clicked.
yeah, so JD from Cult Pop on Young Chunk showed me the trailer for Eden. And I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, it's the Galápagos Affair. And he's like, the what? And I was like, all right, I'm telling Jess about the Galápagos Affair because I doubt she's heard of it either. All right. So, again, news keeps spreading about these people settling on the islands. And then one of the craziest characters shows up. The Baroness.
Ooh.
Baroness
And her lovers.
plural lovers. So a woman named Eloise Werborn de Wagner Bosquet, possibly an imposter, she's definitely an imposter, called herself the Baroness, comes to the island accompanied by her two lovers, Rudolph Lorenz and Robert Philipson. I just want to say, she arrives on the island. I need you to picture this.
Mm-hmm.
Riding a donkey. She keeps a gun on her hip.
So Western.
And she also carries a whip. And she dominates these men. These men are afraid of her. Her lovers are afraid of her.
She's a dominatrix.
Yes. I need
Who
you.
is this woman?
I'm so excited to tell you.
Is it who I think it is?
Who do you think it is?
I don't know.
Ana de Armas.
That's what I was going to say.
Ana de Armas is the Baroness.
Oh my God. What a good character for her.
Felix Karamer is Rudolph Lorenz. And Toby Wallace is
Go Ana de Armas.
Robert Philipson. Oh, just wait, though. I'm going to tell you about the Baroness.
You know they filmed that movie 3 years ago before it was released.
Really?
It was like 3 years in the making.
Oh my God. So the reason that the Baroness decides to, I'm just going to call her the Baroness, even though that's probably not actually we do find out later that's not who she is at all. One of her lovers like reveals her identity. But
Scandalous.
yes. So the Baroness arrives on the island because she wants to open a boutique hotel on the island for people just to keep coming visiting. So Dr. Ritter is like
With the man who doesn't want people to come.
Dr. Ritter's he doesn't own the island. He doesn't own the island.
He's just visiting.
I also just want to note that the only fresh water source is a stream on this island, and it's progressively getting hotter. There are drought conditions coming. There are more people coming to this island. Things are very scarce.
It seems like he didn't fully think this through when moving to an island.
He shouldn't have made it sound so appealing. People wouldn't want to come. So
He should have been like, we're having an awful time.
right about that, the Baroness and her lovers arrive. This distracted the quite conservative lifestyle of the other settlers and will later turn out to be the beginning of the end. Lorenz was part of this love triangle from the beginning, and he was later treated more and more like a work slave to the other two, to the Baroness and Robert Philipson. So the Baroness had planned to build this luxury hotel in Floreana called the Hacienda Paradiso.
That sounds I would visit that.
In the Galapagos?
In the Galapagos.
You can't. You can't just keep listening. You're going to find out why.
But it sounds so appealing.
It does, because the Baroness is there. Mostly, this was targeted towards wealthy Americans. To realize her plan,
of course.
she brought with her cows, donkeys, chickens, and 800, I don't know what the typo is. She brought
800 weight.
800 weight of cement. An exact measurement, guys. Only the finest here. She brought a lot of cement.
A Hacienda Paradiso.
So, in the end, I'm going to talk about this more, but the Hacienda Paradiso just is 2 iron shacks with 2 rooms. So, from the start, okay, I also, you know what? No, before we talk about the next slide, I just want to talk a little bit more about the Baroness. She caused quite a stir with her eccentric lifestyle. She also didn't like visitors on the island. I don't know why she wanted to open a luxury hotel. She chased away a Norwegian fisherman with a gun who came to the island. She was not always great to everybody else on the island. She would just walk around topless all the time, which, like, 1920s, 1930s, scandalous.
Yeah.
What did she do? So the scientist that came to visit, that originally Frederick Ritter was like, okay, you can stay for a minute, but, like, I don't want visitors.
Yeah.
They came back.
Oh, yeah.
Baroness was there this time. She somehow convinced them to help her make a silent movie where she's the star. She's a pirate. She's a man-hungry pirate.
A man-eater?
Dominatrix lady. Boobs out. Just silent film. Maybe not boobs. She had a mesh top on. But
Darmus.
free the nipple. You're like, it's her fault.
What are you doing, my girl?
So she's crazy. It seems like crazy fun sometimes. Crazy not so fun some other times. She was a little bad crazy. Not a little. She was very bad crazy. She got in the habit of shooting some of her animals so that she would have the joy of nursing them back to health. So she's like that kind of crazy. Not good.
Psychopath.
Not good. Yeah. So from the beginning, life on the island was never really easy. You're doing manual labor all the time. And I just want you guys to remember poor Dora from the beginning with her her lover, who thinks that her incredibly painful ailment, MS, can be cured with the power of thought. He's also making her do manual labor. And he's also, in his letters to home that are being published in newspapers, is writing about how bad she is at doing manual labor. He's a jerk.
He's dissing her in
He's
letters?
a jerk. He's a jerk. Just wait. He gets his. Just wait.
Does he get shot?
So the growing leadership claim by the Baroness burdened living, like this group of people trying to live together. She tried to control the island's limited freshwater resources and the incoming mail and food deliveries. Oh my God, wait, I forgot about that detail. She would steal people's letters and respond.
That's illegal.
Not for the Baroness on the Galapagos. She would read their letters and respond impersonating the people, but she'd only talk about herself. She'd be like, oh my God, this woman, the Baroness, showed up and she's fantastic. And so all of the newspapers that were reading these letters would be like, oh my God, the Baroness is on the island and everybody loves her.
We should all go to the island.
The Baroness is there. So she was stealing people's letters. She was stealing food that were being delivered, like any goods that were being sent by people. She was stealing. She was crazy. So written submissions by Ritter and the Whitmers to the Ecuadorian authorities to try to put an end to the Baroness's violent activities did not lead to any improvement in the situation. Because, in her eyes, unwelcome visitors were expelled and kicked off the island violently while she was wielding her gun. A Norwegian settler visited the island for hunting and was expelled at gunpoint. But also, the relationships with the other groups changed dramatically. The relationship between Frederick Ritter and Dora Staunch, who was unable to cope with the difficult living conditions on the island due to her MS, became increasingly difficult. And according to eyewitness reports, Ritter physically abused Staunch, and sometimes in the presence of others. And he's just an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say they wrote the letters to the Ecuadorian authorities trying to report the Baroness. I believe a governor from Ecuador, came to visit the island to check things out. She ended up charming him to the point where he gave her 4 acres of land for the Hacienda Paradisia.
The opposite of everything that you wanted to happen.
So Frederick Ritter is losing his mind, which I don't care because he's an ass. So Rudolf Lorenz, one of the Baroness's lovers, falls ill with tuberculosis and was increasingly forced into this role of a work slave and regularly beaten by Philipson, the other lover. So Lorenz ends up trying to seek help. He ends up going to the Whitmers, but before that, he went to Ritter and Dora Staunch, who were like, no, we don't want to upset the Baroness, trying to help you. Jerks. So Lorenz confides to the Whitmers that he feared for his life and that he believed that the Baroness was planning on murdering him. And in 1934, a series of events ended the supposedly peaceful life in this Eden-like paradise.
When was it peaceful?
I know, right? It sounds so not peaceful. So
sorry, did I miss that part?
Yeah, sorry, you missed that part of the story.
The peace?
This is a peaceful story. Did you not get that? So, due to the failure to build the hotel, the Baroness told the Whitmers that she and Philipson were planning to leave for the island of Tahiti.
Ooh, even better.
But they both suddenly disappeared without a trace.
Ah!
And this was when Lorenz was staying with the Whitmers because he ended up staying there while he was sick. And then Margaret and Lorenz, the day after, suddenly people were like, where's, like, the Ritter and Staunch were like, where's the Baroness and Philipson? They're like, oh my God, a yacht came and they just hopped on the yacht and they left all of their belongings behind. And they just said we could sell it or do whatever because they probably wouldn't be coming back.
Right. That sounds
so
logical.
They were never seen again. Baroness and Robert Philipson were never seen again. And Lorenz also confided in the Whitmers that she wasn't a Baroness. She was a cabaret dancer from World War I in Constantinople. Terry's into that. So she's just playing these people.
She's a con artist.
She's a con artist. She's an imposter.
An imposter.
So she ends up going missing. All of her stuff is left behind. And Lorenz goes to Dr. Ritter and Dora and is like, oh, do you guys want to buy any of the stuff that she left behind? She said I could sell it. I just need a ticket to pay somebody to take me off this island because I want to go home.
Because the island's not fun.
It's
not as fun as you thought it was.
It doesn't seem like anyone's having a good time. Actually, I'll tell you, some people were having a good time, and I'll tell you who later. So Dora said she felt a chill go down her spine when she shows up and she sees the Baroness's favorite book that she always carried around with her, the picture of Dorian Gray, for some reason. She sees that out and she's like, she wouldn't leave without this.
So that's favorite book.
Not her favorite book. It was her thing that she carried around. Besides her gun and her whip, she also had the picture of Dorian Gray. So that was Dora's first sign that, like, okay, something not great happened here. So it's not totally clear if Lorenz was involved in the disappearance, but he did sell all of their belongings and hire a Norwegian fisherman to bring him to San Cristobal Island. And then he wanted to catch a ship back to Europe. So it is blurred what happened next, but I have heard that Lorenz and this fisherman, Lorenz wanted to get off the island as soon as possible. He was having a terrible time. He just wanted to go home. The fisherman was like, we can't sail out today because it's not February, Friday the 13th, and I won't sail on Friday the 13th. Eventually, he paid him enough money to get him to sail on Friday the 13th, and they disappeared. They disappeared. And eventually, Lorenz and the fisherman's corpses were later found in Marchena Island further north, where they probably died of thirst since Marchena has no freshwater sources. So they were found completely like mummified and dried out on the island. They had food, but they didn't have any water. How terrible.
Oh, that's an awful way to go.
Yep. And the Ecuadorian shipboy who was with them ended up never being found. So Frederick Ritter
is this story?
Died soon after from food poisoning. So I told you he was. I'm like hiding the slide from you so you don't read it. He died later from food poisoning.
Good.
So what had happened was I told you about the stream, their only freshwater source, and I've also told you that he's a vegetarian and or vegan. There was the drought though, which ruined all their crops. They had no fresh water. Too many people were taking the water, so they had to resort to eating meat. So they had chickens and pigs.
Did he eat the Baroness?
No. No. I mean, I don't know. As far as I know, no. What happened was he had a pig that was sick. So he killed the pig, fed the pigs to his chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Chickens got sick and died.
Oh.
But they didn't want to waste the chickens, so they jarred the chickens, and Dora cooked the chicken and was like, "Here, it's fine, you can eat it." And he suddenly got so sick with botulism symptoms. Yeah.
They were eating bad meat.
They were. Well, he was. We don't know what Dora was eating, but Dora did not die of this incredibly painful, paralyzing illness. And from Dora's account,
Seems
they
like
had...
Maybe did she do something to him?
I don't know. But Dora's account says that, like, she nursed him through his ailment best he could, made him comfortable while he passed, and they had beautiful moments together. They would read their favorite passages of their book together. But Margaret Whitmer was there as well. And Dora didn't go to get help from the Whitmers until it was far too late and there was no saving Ritter. And Margaret calls bullshit on the romantic nonsense that Dora was spewing. And she's like, yeah, I got to the point where Dr. Ritter was so sick he couldn't talk. And so he was writing notes. One of the last things he wrote to Dora, you won't even be able to guess what he wrote. It's so insane. He wrote on this paper, "I curse you with my dying breath."
Oh.
And Margaret's like, yeah, there was no love there.
And Dora's like, oh, we love each other so much.
We love each other, so romantic. I curse you with my dying breath. So
that's one for the books.
Yeah. And so he ended up dying, his dying breath, and he was buried on the island, I believe. Yeah. This asshole. So recent sources highlighted that the events surrounding the Baroness continue to spark debate among historians and Galapagos guides alike, keeping the mystery alive to this day. So, yeah. We don't know what happened to the Baroness.
How have I never heard of
We don't
any
know
of
what
this?
happened to Philipson. We do know what happened to Lorenz. He unfortunately died of thirst on dehydration on the
Don't know what happened
island.
to the ship boy.
The ship boy is missing.
The boat's missing.
Frederick Ritter, who started all of this, died tragically on the island.
Beautiful island life. Everybody should come, but don't come.
But wait, there's more that I didn't have a slide about. The Whitmers, you said sounded like a nice suburban family that came with their
sick. Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney, who came pregnant with their ill son, and who lived in the caves, and all that. They thrived on this island. They thrived island living. The Whitmers descendants still inhabit the island. Margaret Whitmer lived to be 96 years old. She died in 2000 at 96 years old. And to her dying day, she claimed that the Baroness and her lover, Robert Philipson, hopped on a yacht in the middle of the night and just were never seen again. But the Whitmers, like, the one group of people in this who are like, they're the most normal people. They're not going to last. They're the only ones that lasted on this island.
It seems like karma really got to everybody who was doing something wrong on the island. And
the Whitmers just minded their own business in the caves.
They just minded their own business, and they...
Actually, no, they were probably involved in the murder. The Baroness was murdered.
Ooh, and that's why she's like, oh yeah, the yacht. Of course.
Yeah. Yeah, because Dora was super suspicious of them from the beginning. She's like, you know when a boat comes to this island. Like, people notice.
I was asleep. It happened in the middle of the night. I don't know what you're talking about.
So, yeah, nobody knows where Eloise, the Baroness, is. Or Robert. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Don't you want to go live in Floreana?
They only had the one set of teeth.
So in our last week's episode, we were talking about how the killer in the episode, made a set of teeth from the other man's teeth and took his teeth out. And I was holding this back so long. I was like, oh my God, the thing I'm going to talk to you next also involves weird teeth things.
I know, like, you set the bar so high for me to come to you next with a crazy story.
I was so scared I overhyped this. I was like, I don't know if she's going to find this as crazy as I do.
Totally. This is like the most insane thing I've ever heard, and I don't know how I'm just hearing about it now.
You need to listen to, this was a very condensed version of these events. You need to listen to, if you thought this was crazy and funny to listen to, you should listen to My Favorite Murders episode on it, episode 129, Coincidence Island. They go, Georgia Hardstark had watched the full documentary before talking about this, and I believe she read more than I was able to read for this. And so she talks about it for like an hour, and it's
Also,
insane.
I watched the trailer for Eden. I made no connection to any of this. I was just like, oh my God, Anna de Armas, Sydney Sweeney.
Yep. It's crazy. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. I have to
Who
sit with
wants
my
to
thoughts
go
now.
to the Galapagos?
Me.
The Galápagos Affair.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go
there's-
to Tahiti.
There's a book, there is a documentary, there is so much information out there that I still need to get my hands on. I read an article by terracertravels.com was where I got a lot of my information, as well as the My Fair Murder podcast. So yeah,
Wow.
absolutely bananas.
All right. I gotta
Yeah.
get started. I gotta start thinking about a story.
Start thinking of that crazy story to tell me next time. All right, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this crazy story where I got to blow Jess's mind.
Thanks for listening. You can find us on Instagram at Inside the Morgue Pod. We're the same on TikTok. You feel free to email us. Subscribe to Young Junk's YouTube page. You can catch us over there. And we'll be back next time with a brand new dissection. And stay tuned for a future episode where I come up with a crazy, insane story and blow Alice's mind.
Heck yeah, I can't wait.
Bye.
Bye.
Young John!